Alright, Focus Trades family, let's jump into a few charts here and kind of start, preparation for tomorrow's trading a little bit early. So first thing I'll cover quick is this NVIDIA setup. A lot of us took this trade yesterday. I took a day trade and held the swing trade in NVIDIA. So let's go over that setup right now. So 4-hour chart playing this 180 simple moving average. I'll take you guys back to the basis and the game plan of this swing trade. All we were looking for yesterday was a strong move above that 180 simple moving average for a good old NVIDIA. And when it got pushed down yesterday and bounced right to that level, and then it made its way up, that's when many of us went long. Now, I took a day trade, I took that off as we found some resistance around 150, and I also took a position to hold for a swing. And, here's the thing about swing trades, guys. For some of you newer traders, you may have not taken many swing trades, and certainly we haven't been in the environment that is, conducive to a bunch of swing trades. But there's a few key things that you want to have in place, a few mental notes, already going around in your head to have a higher chance of succeeding in a swing trade. So the first thing you want to focus on is the game plan. That's where it all begins and ends. The whole game plan here for NVIDIA was to go long above that 180 simple moving average. With that being said, the game plan for the exit is if Netflix comes back down here and breaks below that 180 and starts heading, south towards 144. So for the purposes of a swing trade, guys, that's the whole game plan. We did the first part of our job, which was get that nice, low risk, high reward entry. Now, the second part of this, where most people run into trouble, is just giving NVIDIA the time to make the potential move that we're looking for. I'd love to see a breakout above 155, 160, but sometimes the moves that you're looking for don't happen in 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days. But if you're swing trading NVIDIA here, here's the thing. This trade in this setup is completely valid until we break back below that 180 simple moving average. Regardless of the fact that we spiked higher this morning and pulled back, the trade is still valid based upon the fact that we took this entry on above move above that 180, then we're in great shape. You guys have to learn to develop this patience for swing trades early on in your trading, because as you grow and as you begin to trade with bigger sizes, you're going to get screwed up by focusing on your P&L. I'm sure a lot of us were up nicely on these NVIDIA calls, and now a good amount of us may be in the hole because of the premiums. But regardless, for me, for example, the swing trade I took is next week's expiration options. I'm in good shape. It's still trading good 5-6 points above that level. If it comes down and it breaks and it fails, that's okay. I'll take the trade off and stick to the game plan. But here's the thing about these 180 moves is that playing a bigger moving average on a bigger time frame, it's putting you in a position to catch a really potentially big move. A really nice potential big move. And you're never going to catch a big move. You're never going to catch that one trade a month that makes your entire month without developing patience. Look at a few great examples here of some 180 setups, and it kind of reinforce that whole thought process. Here is Lululemon. Same setup, same game plan here, same entry. And it started off great, guys. And despite it pulling back and making a pretty aggressive pullback, if you're playing Lulu above that 180, you never had a reason to sell. If that is the game plan, entry on the breakout, exit on the failure below, then there's nothing to worry about here. You're still in good shape. You're not at risk. Getting stopped out of swing trades because they start to move against you is going to rob you from catching that potential move. We'll take a look at Boeing. If you get shaken out on any little dip, any little pullback, you're never going to be able to catch a move like a Boeing. One of these a month, guys, with modest money, could probably replace the income of the average person. That's how powerful these moves can be on the options. You catch one move a month, just one. Like Chipotle here, you're caking. 100, 200+% returns on those kinds of moves, but you're never going to catch them if you get shaken out on the smallest move against you. Respect the level you're playing, respect your game plan, and if the stock is continuing to trade above that level, who cares if it has some pullbacks in between? The setup is still valid. Take a look at Amazon. Same time frame, same setup, same game plan. For the purposes of a swing trade, we're playing a potential bigger move. You're not going to catch this full move on Amazon if you're getting stopped out on the first few pullbacks against you. IBB, one more example. You're not going to catch this entire beautiful move if this first move against you gets you out. I can promise you the average trader, most traders who take an entry perfectly are going to exit on that pullback. And then in retrospect, they go back, they look at the charts, and it continued to rip without them. When you have a game plan, when you're playing a level of support or resistance or anything with structure to it like that, give the setup some time. Of course, in an ideal world, guys, we're going to buy at 140 and it just rips right to 160, but it's not how it usually goes. You're going to see pullbacks, you're going to see dips, consolidations, profit taking. So yeah, did Nvidia go higher today? No. Did Nvidia power through 155, 160 like we're hoping for? No. But for the purposes of this trade, for this swing trade above the 180, at the close today, we're still in good shape. So for those of you starting to experiment with the day trades and things of that nature, that's something really important to keep in mind. For the intraday trades, the day trades, the scalps, different nature. You're trying to get a piece of a small move and get the hell out of there. In a swing trade, you can kind of compare it to, you're planting a seed, and you need to give that thing the time it needs to grow into that profitable move. It's not going to happen in a session. It's not going to happen in 2 sessions, and you're going to see pullbacks along the way. So for the sake of this Nvidia trade, practice some patience, guys. You shouldn't be fearful of losing on the trade if you did proper position sizing. That's the thing. I got about $350 in next week's Nvidia calls. If that thing goes to 0, I really don't care. I can take that hit, I'm fine. But hey, if this thing rips and that doubles, I make $400-500. There's $400-500 more that we put into the profit safe, and we keep on trucking. So keep that in mind, guys. Swing trades are a different nature. It's like planting a seed, and you got to give it the time and care it needs to grow into a profitable trade. So that's one thing to keep in mind on the Nvidia setup and other setups of that nature. And then we'll take a look real quick at the bigger picture and the few setups that I am looking to trade for tomorrow. So we'll open up TradeStation now. And per usual, guys, I got my good old bird's eye view here. So big picture, let's run through this quick. Main thing we've been talking about, discussing, main thing I've been observing is the resistance here for the market at 260. So we have talked about how the market is trading higher and higher and higher here, but on really, weak volume. So take a look at the SPY here. The picture is showing us that it's trading higher, but the volume is showing us a clear lack of big money. So we're at a crucial point right now. We've already talked about the 260 level being important for the SPY. We've seen multiple bounces and a huge breakdown at that level. And we creeped our way up towards there today. Now we actually closed, 260.20ish. So we're going to open up tomorrow either at, below, or above a very important level. For me to begin taking more long trades here, despite us leaking higher on low volume, I need to see the market above 260. In my most profitable trades, my best days, my best weeks and months, they come from when I have everything aligned. That's when I sit here and take that bird's eye view because I want to see what's going on across the board. I've had a lot of success in this really shitty market environment, all of this volatility, by first and foremost focusing on important time frames. No 5-minute charts, 1-minute charts. For my taste, it's too volatile right now. But focusing on the daily and the 195 has allowed me to do something that is very important. It has allowed me to identify key levels of support and resistance, not just on an individual stock, but across the whole big picture. A great example right now is Amazon. Amazon closed right below this little short-term level of resistance this morning. You can see it's been a pretty messy area for Amazon, and this month that's been the high. So that's a level of resistance that Amazon closed just under this morning. Take a look at our good old SPY here. We're closing just below that important 260, 261 level as well. You take a look at the Qs. We failed to kind of break out above that level today. So what we have right now is the Qs, the SPY, and Amazon all at pretty important short-term levels of resistance. Rather than me rushing into Amazon or me rushing into the SPY and the Qs, trying to predict the next move, let's just take into account what's happening right now. We're at some pretty important levels of resistance on the indexes and a few of the leading names, and we've been inching higher on lower volume. The trade I'm looking for tomorrow, guys, is either a breakout or a failure across the board. Now let's do situation A. The market moves to the upside. We finally break these levels. I'm going to have my bird's eye view. I'm going to have my 4 or 5 different charts open at once, and here's what I want to see. I'm kind of like putting a puzzle together. Here's the pieces that I want to see fall into place. I want to see the Qs break above their level of resistance and just not look back. I don't want to see that fight and bullshit. I want to see them break above and begin to move to a new level. I want to see the very same thing happening in the SPY. I want us to wave goodbye to 260, 261 and just blast through the upside. And when you understand that every individual stock is driven and attached to the SPY and the Qs, that's what we need to get the setups in the individual names. For me to see a super strong breakout in Amazon tomorrow, for me to bring home another $400, $500, $600 from Amazon, it starts with the SPY and the Qs. If the SPY breaks out and the Qs break out, that means there's a lot of money going into them. Because Amazon is such a big part of the SPY, is such a big part of the Qs, if billions of dollars are hitting the SPY tomorrow, a good portion of that money is already going into Amazon. If a bunch of money goes into the Qs, a good amount of that is going into Amazon. The firepower that Amazon may need to break above that awesome level and make a nice move up here into the 1750 range is that breakout in the entire market. Because Amazon and Google and Apple and Facebook are all tied to what is going on in the bigger picture, we need to break out in the market for Amazon to make that super profitable move. For Facebook to clear this level and just rip and bring us up here towards 160, we need to see the market break out. Google is a great looking 195 setup right now. I'm going to be looking to play this level. Call it 1090, 1092, 1093. Google will break out on a trade that I can play when the bigger picture breaks out. That's why if you're a newer trader and you open up you open up the computer, the laptop, whatever it is, and during the session you're staring at that one individual chart, you're missing out on the whole big picture. Believe me, if the SPY and the Qs, they both start to fail tomorrow morning at that level of resistance, and you just see them starting to reel back in, and you see Google beginning to pull back, and Netflix and Apple, I don't care what Amazon's doing. I don't care if Amazon starts to break and rip above that level. If I'm not seeing it across the board, it's not a situation where I feel comfortable putting money to work. It isn't about being right. It isn't about picking the right stock. It's about aligning yourself with the wind of those institutions at your back. You can make a living, and you can make a great living and enjoy life on your terms if you buy into that thought process. If you buy into that fundamental, that foundation, just that super basic, that everything is connected in a bigger picture, that's the first step to putting yourself in a position where trading can pay the bills and give you an awesome lifestyle. So that's my focus for tomorrow, guys. Patience on the NVIDIA trade until my exit is hit. And for me to trade that awesome potential breakout on Amazon tomorrow, I want to see it across the board. I have to see it across the board. If we fail at resistance tomorrow, guys, I'll be looking to go short. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning in the live stream. I'll be in the chat room. And again, a few long setups, a few short setups. Have them on your watch list and be prepared hours before the market even opens tomorrow.